KCAA Loma Linda is sponsored by Teamsters Local 1932, protecting the future of working families. Teamsters1932.org.
Welcome everyone to the Enrollment of Real Estate. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Wade, and we are live on KCAA Network. We are on 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and we are also on your favorite podcast. We are available on iHeartRadio, Pandora, Tiki Live, you name it, we are in there. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. So we are very excited to have our show today. And I have an amazing guest for you. He is a lawyer and he is running two companies. His name is Attorney Charles James, and he is the principal owner of Charles James Law. And at the same time, he is also running the Austin Contracting and Associates as a developer. He founded this company in 2004, and so I'm very excited to bring him into our show here at the Enrollment of Real Estate. So let's do that. Hi, hello, Charles. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Maria. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you've got such an accomplishment, Charles. I mean, you know, being a lawyer and a developer. How many years have you been a lawyer?
Been a lawyer now for almost not a year completely yet. Yeah, so my background is stronger in the development area, but I just became a lawyer.
Oh, really? Okay. And so in regards to the being a developer, when did you exactly start and how did that go about?
Well, before we move on, I got to make a little disclosure. This podcast or this is strictly advertisement, and this is not intended to create an attorney-client relationship in any way, shape, or fashion. If we were going to create an attorney-client relationship, we have an intake process where we'd invite you in to do that, and we would either expressly or impliedly create that relationship. But this podcast does not do that in any way, shape, or form. This is just for advertisement. So now we can move on.
Oh, I love that. That's what you do when you're a lawyer, right?
You have to do that.
We need to make sure that we comply with everything. Okay, so tell me, how did it start for you?
Well, construction started for me a long time ago. When I was really young, I worked for one of the premier home builders, and they allowed me to sweep out homes and clean them up and move things around. And then, went to college. And after college, just after, bumping around and doing different jobs, decided that I really wanted to be in the construction industry. I love it. I've, always loved it, like seeing things being built. And so I decided that I wanted to become a contractor. 2004, I started Austin Contracting and Associates, Inc. Started out as a very small company and then grew into doing larger projects, millions of dollar projects, and decided that's where I wanted to be. The legal background came in by having to understand the law as a contractor. People think that being a contractor is about just hammers and nails, but being a contractor today is about law. Okay. So that's why I moved into the law as well.
Well, starting a construction company, I don't think it's that easy. Can you share with us how you go about it and how it became successful for you?
Starting a construction company is not an easy thing to do because, like you said, it's challenging. You first have to determine how you're going to be capitalized and what type of projects you're going to take on. And are you going to be a commercial contractor? Are you going to be a residential contractor? Are you going to be a developer? What are you going to do? The basis of that is what kind of construction work do you like to perform? Residential work is more personal because of the fact you deal with clients up close. The commercial construction work it's more professional because you're building a property for a business rather than a person. Those are the kind of considerations that you have to think about when you're thinking of starting a construction company, along with your background, because there's a lot of different things that, come into play with administrative work, that come into play with subcontractors and understand their specific work, and then the clients. So you need to think about how that mix is going to work for you as a contractor.
Okay, so if and you made a decision to go with commercial, right?
I did.
Okay, so doing the commercial, what are the major steps that you have to take in order to get that going?
First, have to start out with looking for your client base, and you're going to have to find clients and determine which people are going to be your clients and what kind of stuff you like to build. You like to build multifamily? Do you like to build commercial buildings? What do you like to build? That's what's going to determine how you're going to get going. Now, if you like to build multifamily, like apartment buildings and things of that nature, you need to find clients that are building those type of projects. You find those clients, engage them, and determine if you can win the project. The construction industry is very competitive. And so when you get into the construction industry, you got to see how and where you want to compete. And in that marketplace, the apartment complex building space is very competitive. So if you're going to be in there, you just have to know that going in.
Okay, and what kind of experience is it required for you to be able to get your first client through the commercial business?
What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to let people see you and let them understand that you know how to build their project. And I had a rule and a goal when I first started my business. I would never take on a project that I did not understand. And what's going to happen is that client is going to lay plans and blueprints and things of that nature out in front of you. And they're going to have an understanding if you know what you're doing right away, because when you bid those projects, you're telling them this is the price that we can build this property for. And you're lined up against a bunch of other contractors that are saying this is what we can build it for. And if your price comes out $1 million ahead or $1 million below, some people would think, well, if my price is below, I should get it. Well, you'll never be able to complete the project. So you won't win that project if you're high or if you're low. You have to come in right in that median spot where the client knows that you can actually complete this project. And so basically, the clients are going to choose you based upon know-how. The clients are going to choose you based upon a level of comfort. The clients are going to choose you based upon your financial responsibility to complete that project. And then that's primarily the strength of how you're going to get chosen in that marketplace.
Okay, so definitely there's some vetting process going that needs to happen before you can land the client, because they want to make sure that you have all these qualifications in order for them to give you the project.
Right. Well, it's like if you look at my qualifications, you look at my background. I'm an attorney, and I've been building for over 20 years.
Okay.
And I've owned millions of dollars worth of properties of my own. And so a client can sit down and talk to me and have a good conversation and have a good feeling that I understand how to build. I also hold a concrete license, which means I can go in and do the foundation for any project. So when we start, we don't have to wait for a subcontractor to come in. We can do our own foundational work, and then we can build the entire project ourselves.
Okay, so for someone who is just starting out, is it better for them to be mentored first by someone like you in order to get into the commercial projects? Or do they need to have certain, hands-on experience in order to do it?
The construction business is not different than any other business. The thing is that if you're coming in and you're brand new, my thought to that person is don't start in the commercial business. You're not ready for that.
Okay.
But then you start in the residential business and you learn to build smaller projects, because the complexity of the commercial projects is so vast that if you just came in off the street, your chances of being able to win a bid, your chances of being able to complete a project are very low. They're very low because you don't have the understanding of what it's going to take to complete that project. So even myself, I started in the residential market and learned to build residential homes. Once I learned to build residential homes, that's when I moved into the commercial marketplace and started to understand how to go about operating in that marketplace. The paperwork and the idea of working with the client, the subcontractors, the authorities having jurisdiction, and all of these things that you have to work with, they're very challenging for a builder that is not experienced.
Okay. Well, so you mentioned that during the bidding process, there's certain way to win that client. How do you set yourself into where you can be successful in getting that bid?
Oh, that's a trade secret, Maria. You're trying to get trade secrets from me? You trying to
No,
get
I'm just trying to understand how
oh my
how
goodness.
you specialize in these things, because there's so many people doing the same thing, and I'm trying to figure out how do you identify people like you that, if they're looking at your bid among other construction companies, how do you know who's the best?
Well, if you really look at it, you look at people, there's a lot of people out here that have been out here like me for a long period of time. And so you ask what sets you apart. It's like the secret ingredient to code
Okay.
of the product. It's like we all have secret ingredients. We all have things that we bring to the table that the next person doesn't bring. And people always ask that, and I tell them, never give up that. That's what gets me to the table, and that's what gets me over. If you want that secret, I tell you what, you build hundreds of buildings, and you stay up sleepless nights, and you can have it. But you can't.
Okay.
Sorry.
I like that. All right. Well, I am so glad to learn a little bit about you, because I've known you as a lawyer, but I didn't really know your experience in the commercial and construction industry. So it's very interesting that some people can get into this industry and become very successful, because I've seen so many people have tried to do projects, and it just a challenge and a struggle for them to get the funding, to get all the resources they need in order to get through the process. And I even had a client that I tried to get funding, and it's just, oh my gosh, it's a nightmare, because we couldn't get through.
Well, one of the things is this business is different than any business in the world. And if you look at everything, like the place you're sitting right now, if you look down, somebody built the floor. If you look at the walls, somebody built the walls, somebody built the roof. Every place we go is a built structure.
Hmm.
So when you look at it, you have to understand that you have to have an understanding of what it is that it took to put that entire shelter together, and what it takes to get that financing. And people want to hear certain buzzwords when you come to get financing from them. They want to know and understand that you understand how to take that project from its inception all the way to the closeout. And there's so many little things that could be missed. And that person who is determining whether or not to give you that money or not to build that project, once they talk to you, they're going to know whether you're going to be able to do that. And if they don't feel a level of confidence that you understand the industry that you're getting into, this is not getting a loan for a car. This is not getting a loan for anything other than, building this property. And as you stated, we've seen a lot of people try to build properties and they fail.
Yes.
When the bank puts out their money, they don't want to put it out to someone that's going to be on the lower percentage of the side of failure. They want to put it out to somebody that they know can be successful. So when you look at our business, you look at Austin Contracting, it's been around for 20 years plus. They know, and they look at it, and you tell the projects that you've completed, they know, okay, this guy can complete the project. All he needs is money. If we give him money.
So let's do this, Charles. I'm going to take a commercial break, and we're going to be right back. And okay, for everyone out there, this is your host, Marie Antoinette Wade, and I am with attorney Charles James. So we're going to take a break, and don't go in. We will be right back.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494-2280.
Choose power today and help us create a cleaner planet. Over the past years, utility prices have rapidly increased. Power provides home energy solutions that would save money. Power is the world's first virtual solar company that aims to adopt sustainable energy worldwide. Our company delivers low-cost, clean, and reliable energy solutions. The solar investment allows you to become eligible for an income tax credit. The solar investment is a great way to provide long-term value. Power is the first solar company that reduces carbon footprint for a cleaner environment. Power is experienced and one of the fastest growing solar companies in the United States, which provide the best solutions according to your needs. Call today for your free solar consultation. Join us as one of our ambassadors and earn $1,000. Earn $1,000 when the installation is completed. Free sign up at www.power.com/marie.waite/ambassador. Feel good about what powers your life. Marie Waite, your solar consultant. 95137855316. Enjoy your life with solar.com.
FireUp Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. FireUp Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. FireUp Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station kcaaradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate. I am your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we have our guest, attorney Charles James. We were talking about his construction company and experience as a developer. And so, Charles, you were saying earlier that your company has done 20 plus years of work in the construction industry. Can you share some of the main stories that you have accomplished in that company?
Well, I mean, I think the interesting part about my company is that we started out as handymen. And what we used to do is we worked for Pringle Brothers. Pringle Brothers are some of the largest, and I won't mention any other names after this, one of the largest developers in LA, and basically had a lot of different apartment complexes that we worked on. And we built out places for them as a small, like, I guess, contractor, handyman type of contractor, did a lot of work for them. And then we extended our business and started to go larger and go into building commercial spaces on our own, building over 100,000 square feet properties, 200,000 square feet properties, and building those out on our own. And so basically that's how we expanded into the market, into the commercial market. So we started really small, and then we built ourselves up into a larger contractor. So a lot of contractors that you see out here, a lot of people see them and think, oh my God, you know, you guys are huge, or you're big contractors. Everybody starts from a small position.
Okay.
Larger, but you, like I said before in the last segment, it's a lot of sleepless nights, it's a lot of understanding, and it's a lot of building rapport and relationships. And I'll say this, a lot of people think it's education, a lot of people think it's just putting a great team together. This business is about grit. That's the main ingredient. It's about grit. If you're strong and you're resilient, you will last in this business. If you're not, you won't last.
Okay. And what area do you normally
We can work all over Southern and Northern California. It just depends on what the project is and how it fits within our scope. Like I said to you before, if it doesn't fit within our scope, we won't do the project. If it's Northern or Southern California and it fits within our scope and we like the project, we can take it on.
Okay. And so now, I mean, you also now a lawyer. How does that benefit what you're doing? I'm sure it's gonna, you know, definitely there's a lot more value to it.
Well, let me tell you a quick story. One time we had a client and we had a very difficult contract. And we didn't understand the contract because we were contractors. So we didn't understand everything that went into the contract. So we hired a lawyer to help us understand the contract. And one day the lawyer was leaving, he laughed and he said, Charles, if you were a lawyer, you would understand this yourself. You wouldn't even need me. And as a competitive person, I was like, hey, you know what? That might be a good idea. And I started looking into law schools and became a lawyer. And yes, in answer to your question, it helps you because you understand the legalities of the contract. And I think that's what makes our business strong. That's one of the secret sauces I will give you, Maria. As a lawyer, I can understand my own contracts, and I understand what the client is getting into, what we're getting into. Although I never represent the client, we're not a disinterested party here. We represent ourselves, but we understand the contract. So that's, I think, one of the strengths.
How long did it take for you to finish your law degree?
It took about 4 or 5 years because of the fact that I was building buildings, going back and forth, running all around, trying to, keep my construction company going, and just trying to do all the things that everybody does daily. So it was really challenging. So about 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so you're kind of doing in between your projects, and I'm sure the bar exam too.
Oh yeah, the bar exam, like no other thing in the world. California is number one. I guess you could say California is the hardest bar exam in the country. Yes.
Well, that's a lot of commitment and persistence on your side to be able to do both. I mean, the fact that, you're running a construction company and working on big projects at the same time going to school. I mean, your mindset is so strong to fulfill all of those. I mean, what's going on in your mind? I mean, I'm sure there's some times that you think that, oh my God, this is too much.
You were reading my mind then. Yeah, because, there's times when you're working on projects and you have deadlines. So I had deadlines in law school. I had deadlines for a construction project, and both of the deadlines sometimes hit at the same time. Mm-hmm. So you just have to really have a lot of grit. Like I said before, I know a lot of people don't know that word. It's an old word today. But you have to have a lot of tenacity to want to finish. And my thing is that I wanted to make my construction company one of the strongest companies in the country. Because if you go around and you look and you say, how many percent of lawyers own construction and development companies, I guarantee you won't even be 1% all throughout the country.
Oh, wow.
It's not. So I knew that if I started it, I have to finish. And our slogan for our company is excellence one project at a time. And I use that across the board for my life. Excellence, one project at a time. So we want to complete everything we start. We don't ever start anything that we're not going to finish.
Well, this type of commitment you have, I mean, what is your background before construction?
First and foremost, my mom was a big influence in my life. And she always finished everything she started. And so 6 kids, single mom. And, the next step was when I got into sports, I was a football player. I was a wide receiver, NCAA football player, wide receiver. And the biggest thing that I've always learned is that, if there's an inch that we need, you got to go get that inch. If there's a pass that needs to be caught, I had to go catch that pass. And, your coaches put a lot of energy into teaching you that you have to keep fighting for the next step. You just keep fighting and fighting, and you never give up. And if you watch any football game, every person out there is trying. They're trying to put in an effort so that they can win, they can get to the next step. I've taken all those things and combined them and put them together to make my life what it is today and make my career what I want it to be. And I've been around a lot of good mentors and things of that nature. So that's a brief understanding of how it started and where it is today. But I just never give up.
So I see that, it's really good for people to take some mentorship in order to have that strong mindset in completing tasks in the future for their business, right?
It's definitely great. One of my mentors was Richard Copeland. And this is how I met Richard Copeland. Richard Copeland is a minority builder. He's one of the largest Black builders in the country. And one day I was sitting in my office and I was frustrated because I was working on a problem that I couldn't solve. And so I looked on the internet, and people might think this story is crazy, but this is how it happened. I looked on the internet said, God, I need somebody to help me with this problem. Richard was in Las Vegas, and so he owned Thor Construction. If you guys ever look it up, it's Thor Construction. It's a $300 million company. I picked up the phone, and I called, and I said, I want to speak to Richard Copeland. The secretary said, he doesn't just take calls like that. I said, okay. I hung up the phone. I waited 20 minutes. I called back again. I said, I want to speak to Richard Copeland. She said, aren't you the same guy that just called here? I said, yeah, I'm the same guy that just called here, and I'm going to be calling here tomorrow and the next day. And she said, can you just hold on a second? She was really frustrated. Next thing I know, this big booming voice came on the phone. This is Richard Copeland. How can you help me? I said, Mr. Copeland, I'm a mid-sized builder. I'm having a problem, and I need somebody to help me. He said, what do you need? So I told him. He said, that's simple. Do this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, my God, the answer's right there. So he gave it to me. And then I said, I'd like to meet you one day. So he told me, he said, go to the airport, and I'll fly you out here. Come out tomorrow and talk to me. So I flew out. I didn't know this was going to happen, Maria. He was working on one of the biggest hotels in Las Vegas and said, okay, look, here's your chance. I'm going to let you run my company for one day.
Oh my God, that's an opportunity.
Now you tell me that's not nuts. He said, look, if you were me, what would you do today? And I could not believe it. Richard is no longer with us. He died last year. But just getting to meet people that are at a larger space and a larger place, you have to reach out and you have to be persistent, and maybe it won't happen like it happened with me, but we all need mentors. And if you think you're going to get over that large hill without somebody mentoring you, you may get over it, but it's going to take you a long time. And with somebody like Richard Copeland, he came in and started bidding with me on my projects. He flew out to California and bid projects with me, and actually went in the room and told people, if he can't do the project on his own, I'll do it with him. Wow. And these people are like, this is Richard Copeland sitting at the table, co-signing with this guy, saying that if he can't do the project financially, or if he can't do it, he'll do it with me. Now, how crazy is that?
That is amazing. That's the gift of persistence, and being focused on what you want in life. Do you mentor also?
I do mentor. I'm very selective, though. I will mentor people, but I'm selective because a lot of people claim that they want to be mentored, and the moment that they get in and start working with you, they want to tell you how to do the work or what to do. And one of the things that I was about to do a video series on, when you hire a professional, are you around professionals? Let them do their job. Let them be the professional. Don't try to be the professional, and don't try to outrun the professional. Let them do their job. One of my biggest things that I had with Richard is, I told Richard, I'll never outrun you. He said, what does that mean? I said, because you're my mentor. You're the person I'm looking up to. You're the person that's sponsoring me. I'm never going to try to outrun you. And I never try to outrun him. What I did is I went to meetings with him. He bought franchises. I bought a franchise. And I went to learn how to buy these franchises. I purchased a Fat Burger franchise. Okay. And I learned how to do that through Richard. And so I never tried to get out front, because Richard purchased franchises in Las Vegas. He owned all kinds of different franchises. And he taught me how to do that. And the only way I could have learned is by listening to what he said. I just watched what he did, and I listened to what he said, and then I went and repeated it. So it's like rinse and repeat. But a lot of people have challenges with mentors because of the fact that they're not there to listen. Mm-hmm. So if you want to be mentored, be there to listen.
Well, we're gonna take another break, Attorney Charles James, because I think I wanted to, in our next segment, I really wanted to paint the picture of how you run your business. We're going to take a break. Don't go away. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we are here at the Real Men of Real Estate with our guest, Attorney Charles James.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494 2280.
FireUp Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. FireUp Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. FireUp Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station kcaaradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we're having so much fun talking to attorney Charles James. I'm so blown away with what you have just shared so far with everything that how you were able to have that strong mindset and run this successful company. And now I wanted to ask you, I can picture you running this company with such a strong personality. How is it with people working with you in action? I mean, are you like someone that is very firm or reserved or very vocal? How is it? I'm trying to picture it.
So that's a good question. A lot of people say that I'm really strict. They say I'm strict and that, I stick to the rules and that I push really hard. But the thing is that I would say I'm a mix of all of those things. I say I'm strict when it comes to the details because, in our business, it's about the inches. And if something says it's supposed to be 5 inches, it has to be 5. It can't be 3 because then the other part that comes after that won't fit. And so we have to do everything exact. And so I think that's why we got to match personalities with the work that's being performed. And then also we have a lot of responsibilities for in construction, OSHA, and a lot of other different organizations that are protecting the people and protecting the public. And I've always felt a really strong responsibility. I don't care if it's 100 guys on site or 1,000. When I say guys, I mean guys and ladies. I felt a responsibility to bring those people home safe every day. And I saw a lot of workplace accidents where people would get hurt. And I know that these people have to go home to their families. They have to go home to themselves. And my responsibility is to make sure that happens. And so I can't be a person that is not going to be strict in that nature.
Okay, so I've heard so many stories in regards to negotiation during the projects where some of them are very aggressive and some of them could be could be so angry in certain things that you guys are talking about. Have you had that kind of experience, and can you share how you were able to handle them?
I certainly had that kind of experience, and the way I feel like you manage any of those experiences is you just have to be a professional. And I've had experiences where subcontractors, clients, anybody in between can, be upset about something, but I feel like it's my responsibility as a person leading the project to keep everybody calm and to keep everybody focused on the main goal, which is completing the project. And so I think that's where leadership comes in. Leadership, today is a buzzword, and people talk about it like it's just something in passing, but the responsibility of leadership rests with the person who's the leader. And so in ensuring that people get along and that people complete the project and keep the main thing, what I like to do is I like to assess where we are at that point and work with people to understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And I know that sounds simple in nature, but it's not really simple in nature when you get a large group of people working together and that large group of people start to have different interests. You have to make sure that everybody has one interest, and that is completing that project. And you never get off track, no matter what, no matter if there's a disagreement, no matter what happens, you keep that idea in front of you and you keep people on track.
Now, have you had an experience where someone does not want to bend their agenda, or they don't want to compromise? How do you take care of that?
There's always experiences where people don't want to compromise or bend their agenda, as you say, because of the fact that they have their own agenda. And that goes back to what I said.
Mhm.
We don't have an agenda, an individual agenda when we come to a project. That's why it's called a project.
Mhm.
And I explain that up front. And I let everybody know that this is how the project is going to be run. And I give people the opportunity, if you don't think that the project should be run this way, you have the opportunity to walk away.
Okay.
But as a lawyer, everybody knows that if you signed a contract, you have a responsibility under the law. And as I stated at the top of your show, I'm not giving legal advice. This is purely for advertisement, and I'm not creating a attorney-client relationship here. But what you do is you have to, like I said, put the project in front of you, make sure everybody understands where you're going, what direction you're going in, make sure they face that direction every single day. And I feel like that's the leader's job. And that's why when you talk about mentoring, Richard built, multi-million dollar projects in, stadiums, stores that you know of. And he always talked to me about keeping everybody focused forward, keeping them focused forward. So as you build or you're doing anything, people will be going in the right direction. And that's basically what you have to do. And Maria, as you stated, there's going to be people that don't want to bend their agenda. There's going to be people that are angry. There's going to be people with a myriad of issues. But like I said, at the end of the day, you got to keep everybody focused. That's
okay. Well, so let me change the topic this time, Attorney Charles. What do you think about the economy right now with all this interest rate going crazy? And how is that affecting your business? And what are you looking at in terms of the vision for your company?
I think that what you have to do is you got to focus your business from the beginning. And what you do is when you set your goals at the beginning of the year, like in 2022, you set your goals, you have to know that the economy could crash, the economy could excel, the economy could do all kinds of different things. And what I call this is staying in your wheelhouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your wheelhouse is jobs from 1 million to 5 million. Yes, you want to increase and you want to scale. And everybody always talks about scaling. That's great. And, we all want to scale. But you have to scale to the degree that you're not going to lose your shirt. Because if you scale way above what it is that you actually budgeted or planned for, and the economy takes a tank, or the economy takes a change, interest rates start to increase, building starts to slow down, all these different things that happen, those things have to be in your business plan. And as you start to look today that people are saying, wait, interest rates are really going up. Okay, but in your business plan at the beginning of the year, you'd have to know that. You have to start thinking about that. And there's many great organizations out there that can help you start to make those plans and have that idea. Now, if you look, there's a lot of construction companies in this business, and they had like hundreds of trucks and dozers and all this equipment. And what I always thought of is the people are not looking at the idea that, let's say that money is not there tomorrow. What do you do? How do you run your business? And that's why I think that if you scale down and you look at building your business in strength in terms of profit, then you're going to have a better business because of the fact that you're scaling in a way that you're not going to outrun your business. Because when you do, you're going to either lose business or you're going to lose your entire company.
So what I'm getting from what you just shared is that you either have to have a plan B strategy, and you also need to know what the forecast is going to be for the next year. Is that right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I want to go back because I never have a plan B. I told you I was a football player, right?
Okay.
Plan B. We don't have plan Bs. Plan A is to win. We don't have a plan B. So here's the thing. What you have to do is you have to look at your business in a pragmatic manner. When you're looking at your business in a pragmatic manner, you budget for that year and for the years coming, right? But you have to look at that year specifically. And when you look at that year, you have to know what you can do and what you can't do. And if you say, okay, what if there was a slowdown and the interest rates increased and we can only build 5 buildings this year, not the 10 that we projected, what would happen to our company under those circumstances? When you look at what would happen to your company under those circumstances, if you could still thrive, then you're okay. But if you're not going to thrive based upon what you projected, you need to change your projections. And there's no crystal ball out there, that's to be sure. And you know, all the large financial people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, all these people, they'll tell you the same thing. There's no crystal ball. However, you can be pragmatic. Like when people say they're going to take an educated guess, people don't really understand what that means. It means they're really taking an educated guess on what their business will do. It means they sit down, they put the facts, figures, and all those things out, and they have an understanding of what's going on. A non-educated guess is we just throw some grass in the air and see where it blows. We don't do that in business if we want to be successful. We have to make an educated guess based upon the efforts that we put in to make that happen.
Okay, and do you have another team of people that helps you with that, or is it just you and you?
It's me and other people, but here's the thing. One of the things is this. A lot of people talk about professional consultants, and I can tell you this, there's not a professional consultant in the world that could tell me how to run my business. And
Okay.
I say, wow, that's an arrogant statement. Let me tell you why. If you've been in your business for 5, 10 years, you should know your business better than anybody else because you're intimate with that business. You spend all that time with that business. You should know it. I mean, I've stayed up late at night, got up early in the morning to look at my numbers, look at my business and see where it's at. How can a consultant that's never seen my business and doesn't understand my business come in and say, this is what you should do? Because it's like looking at the screen of a 747 and saying, this is the button you push if this happens. So you as a business owner, you better know your business better than any consultant.
Oh, I like that. I really like that statement that you just shared because now I think about all the companies I've worked for. I mean, I worked for a healthcare company, and I remember they were paying thousands of dollars to bring in consultants, and then they tried to start, laying off people. They don't know what's going on within the department. They just look at the numbers and they start, getting rid of people. It's like, it just didn't make sense to me that that's what they were doing. So I think that is really a good advice and a good information for people to listen to. Anyway, what is the best way for everyone to get a hold of you, Attorney Charles?
You guys can reach us at 626-428-3113. And you can also reach us at cjames@charlesjameslaw.com. See, that's what happens when you're overworked. I can't even remember all the email address.
Okay, can we repeat the phone number again, Attorney? Because we have a lot of listeners.
Okay, 626-428-3113. That's the phone number. And then the email address is cjames@charlesjameslaw.com.
Well, thank you so much, Charles. Any last words that you wanted to share to everyone about anything?
Yeah, the one thing that I would share with the new entrepreneurs or the people that are in the middle, the one thing is that when you run your business today, it's a lot of challenges out there. And I know somebody out there needs to hear this, but just keep going, one step at a time. Richard always told me, he said, Charles, you know what? I was small for a lot longer than I was large. And that statement right there always made me keep going because of the fact that I knew that if I really wanted to get larger, if I really wanted to do something, I had to keep going. And this journey of being an entrepreneur, it's a lonely journey. So if you think that there's going to be a lot of people cheering you on, or you think that some banners or flags are going to, drop when you do something, they won't. But the one thing that you'll know is that goal that you set when you started the company and you opened those doors, you reached it. And when you reach that goal or one of those goals, it's going to be an amazing feeling. So just keep going, stay strong, and believe in what you started. And that's my statement to business owners, because I love all business owners.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. We're so blessed by your interview today, Attorney Charles. And I hope that I can bring you back in again because it looks like you've got a lot of teachings that you can share with our listeners. So anyway, well, thank you for your time. To all of you out there who's listening today, make sure that you share this show to your connections. This is the Real Men of Real Estate. We bring amazing real estate professionals in this show, and you get to learn a lot about real estate. I am your host. I am the producer and director of the Real Men of Real Estate. We do have other hosts that runs the show. Make sure that you check out every Sunday at 1 p.m. here on KCAA Network. We have Patrick France, we have Dan Reddick and Thomas Chappelle Jr. that you can watch and listen to. Anyway, don't go away. I will still have one more segment for you, and we will be right back.
Are you a real estate investor looking for a new opportunity in one of the top tourist destinations in the world? Look no further. Welcome to Punta Cana. Perla Bahia is a private resort-style community in Punta Cana that consists of modern condos, custom villas, and various commercial amenities. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us on one of our monthly investment tours, don't hesitate to contact me today at 909-494-2280.
Fire Up Connect is the most innovative business networking group, supporting and collaborating with a dozen of small businesses that are interested in building and establishing strong business connections, hosting educational live seminars while carrying out business and community-driven projects, as well as marketing programs as a part of its membership program. Fire Up Connect also offers virtual assistance with a wide range of services including inbound customer support, chat support, appointment setting and email management, graphic designing, video editing, web design and development, social media marketing, e-commerce solution, content writing and much more. For more information, head on over to www.fireupconnect.com. Fire Up Connect, helping success stories unfold every day.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station kcaaradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate. This is your host, Marie Antoinette Wait. What an interview with attorney Charles James. That's a load of information and very inspiring information that you can take with you if you are interested in building your career in the real estate. You know, having a good mentorship, you know, the type of personality he has, very consistent, very good in handling people, managing and having a good communication, and also having a law background. I think it's such a great combination. And he is such a good leader in this industry. Don't hesitate to connect with him and try and get some way to maybe work with him, collaborate with him. I think he's such a great resource for you if you are interested in building your real estate career, or, you know, just learning how to get into the commercial construction. I myself was very, pleased with this interview. I learned a lot from him. I would say, you know, I will bring him more into our future shows and connect him to the other real estate professionals that I am connected to. And so he's such a great asset and very valuable to our real estate industry. Anyway, make sure that you support our show, Real Men of Real Estate. We have Patrick France coming in next. He is a note investor, and he shows people how to, invest on notes. They have classes that you can enroll. And then we also have Dan Reddick, who is the president of San Diego Creative Investors Association. He meets every month, every second Tuesday of the month. So you can just check his website, sdcia.com. There's a lot of people in there, like over 100 people that attend the meeting. And so it's such a great network to be a part of. Then we have Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. and Thomas is the founder and CEO of the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. He has over 1,000 members, and he does his meeting online. So make sure you check out the guys in Enrollment of Real Estate and listen to their show. They bring such great people to interview, and lots to learn in this show, Real Men of Real Estate. We are here every Sunday at 1 p.m. And I host one of the shows. I am looking for another radio host to fill in this spot. If you are a real estate professional or investor that love to educate and help our listeners, definitely connect with me. My number is 951-378-5316, and my email is marie@finestwomeninrealestate.com. You can also find me in social media. We have a YouTube channel for Real Men of Real Estate. Go subscribe and you will see all our previous shows, a lot of TV talk shows that we produced a few years ago with Brian Fox, Steve Matley, and Tunde Ogunwale. There's a lot of great basic information also how you can start in the business. So subscribe, make sure that you support it and share it to your connection. You know, the more people we can bring into this show, the more we can learn from each other. And again, I truly, truly appreciate you tuning into our show every Sunday. I am the producer and director of the Real Men in Real Estate, and I also am the owner of the Finest Women in Real Estate. For the women in the real estate, we do have other radio shows that you can participate. International Wealth Builders is a radio show, and I have two amazing ladies that are running that show. One is Dr. Sharon Barnes, who is a former lawyer and also a real estate professional, and she talks about ADU. She is a certified ADU specialist. And then we also have Latoya Tillett, who is a real estate broker, amazing lady, and she talks about international real estate projects. So she is so connected to all of those projects. So definitely you want to listen to her show. And I will be bringing in other hosts also in that show. So if you're interested in educating in real estate, come and reach out to me, and I will go ahead and connect you to those shows. Okay. Also, before I go, I wanted to put a plug on Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. It's also every Sunday at 3:00 p.m. We have a new host. Her name is Sherry Robirosa, and she's going to be taking care of the fashion segment. She's a new host for the Fabulous Lifestyle. We also have Martha Razzo, who is running the finance segment. And hopefully you'll get to meet more hosts. That is so exciting. So, and also last thing is the Fire Up Connect. Check it out. Fire Up Connect is my company, and that is where I gather a lot of business professionals and we collaborate and create projects. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, and hope to see you next Sunday. And again, this is the Real Men of Real Estate, and I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. Have an amazing day and weekend, and we'll see you then.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate.